Okie dokies, ladies and gentlemen, game number 2 here in this Team League all-kill format. Again, remember to register to SC2SL.com and register your votes. Who do you want to see revived for the last game? That is awesome indeed. You cannot revive Goody currently, he is the only option to revive, so... Anyway, so Monchi will be spawning here as the green Protoss over in the eastern position for Escape Icebox Gaming. And down to the west, we do have Serious Gaming's Roof going to be spawning here as the purple Zerg once again. Now, we've already seen that his ZVT, given the opportunity, can be right on the money. And looks like we're just going to have a little pause for now. But we'll have to see if his ZVP is any good. Being on Serious Razor's Serious Gaming, he is... probably had a lot of experience against Protoss. Serious Gaming is a team that has absolute awesome Protoss pedigree intrinsically in it. There is a pro that I don't think he plays StarCraft 2 too much anymore, called Lovum. And there's another pro that I don't think he plays too much StarCraft either, called Naniwa, who used to be on Serious Gaming, and then he joined several hundred other teams, and is now Quantic. So now, yeah, indeed, so Roof will be tried, true, and tested against Protoss. We shall have to see what he's going to be going for against Monchi here. Monchi's one of those guys that is always competing in those Go for SC2 Cups. I always see him there. Funnily enough, though, I never end up casting Monchi's games, which is really, really weird. He's always playing, but by the time it always gets to the later rounds where I'm casting other people, he's like either been eliminated or in a semi-final that I'm not casting. So anyway, Mr. Roof, what are we going to see him go for? Don't think we're going to be seeing any kind of early hatcheries here. Again, can be rife with danger against the Protoss, especially if they want to go for that kind of reactionary forge play. You can deny it with some nice drone micro, but it looks like Mr. Monchi going to be opening things up with a forge fast expand here. Now, this is always an interesting choice. Do you go for the forge fast expand in the back here, near the mineral lines, to be able to wall in between this ramp and your Nexus, or do you go for the wall in here at the top of this larger ramp? Now, for Monchi, there's two sides to the argument. Some players like to wall in here to be able to get that cannon down very, very quickly and have a little bit more time in order to be able to get these buildings up before any kind of earlier pulls come along. If you are... Oh, but Roof! Oh... Okay, so if Monchi was actually walling in over here, I would love what Roof is doing right now, because normally Protoss wants to throw cannons down here, here and here, which is always very, very useful indeed. Is he blocking this? He will be for now. But Roof going to be stealing here for now, and with Monchi walling in here, this cannon, he's spending this money on this cannon, but it's still going to have use while it's here. If you're walling in here and throwing down the cannon here, this cannon's just going to be useless for the whole time. But this cannon here with this wall in, very, very useful indeed. Still, that's where he'd throw it down anyway. So for now, we'll have to see what Roof is going to do. He has options here. He could either kind of go for the hatchery itself and kind of try and rally some Zerglings out as well as a Queen, throw down a Creep Tumor if he so desires, or he could cancel this and throw down an Evolution Chamber. Right now it looks like this probe wants to try and deny any kind of Evolution Chamber going down after a cancel. We do already have the spawning pool down. Mr. Roof paying very, very close attention to this. And there we go. Well, actually, he does get the Evolution Chamber down before the probes actually move. So, I mean, it's very, very difficult to be able to get in there with those probes. And, oh, the drone just barely gets away. So nicely done there by Roof, delaying that expansion for quite a long time. Now, the interesting thing... Okay, so why would Roof go for that? Why would he delay his opponent's expansion for the cost of around 100 minerals? The reason is because his spawning pool timing was around the 13-14 mark, which is a very, very standard spawning pool timing for a Zerg. Now, if a Protoss end up scouting this, what they will end up doing is going for this Nexus before cannon, before gateway, and just throwing down the cannon and gateway afterwards. However, you're delaying this expansion and forcing him to actually go for this before. It's very, very nice indeed. And look at this. Roof off the back of this will be going for 2 expansions. Ever the Zergy friend that he is. Very, very nicely done. Right now, Mr. Monchi does not know anything about these. You will need to keep a probe out on the map, hopefully going to be this probe here. Very, very important to do so, not only to be able to throw down those proxy pylons, but also try and get that little bit of a later scout off, try and see what's going on at this natural. And then again, on Antigua Shipyard, trying to scout on this third is very, very important as well. But also, it's going to be there to scout for any kind of all-in play that does come along, i.e. the Roach Ling stuff. So for now, Monchi will indeed be going for +1 weapons. That's a relatively quick +1 weapons, considering that he doesn't actually have any probes right now on his natural. And not any more zealots coming out just yet. Unit counting station does show 25 drones to the 28 probes of our Protoss buddy here. So Monchi is in a pretty good situation, but what he's going to have to do is he's going to have to make something happen. He can't just sit idly by and let both of these bases get nicely droned up for roof. And, you know, that's not the position that you want to be in as Protoss. Thankfully, cross positions does allow it, give you the right to go for Stargates and be able to pressure this third relatively easily, thanks to the fact that there is this huge chasm for your air units to be able to retreat across. But looks like he will be going for a Twilight Council very quickly, so probably going to see some standard Protoss Blink play here, as that is just becoming the absolute standard. I said standard before, but it literally is becoming an absolute standard. Getting that Blink out, very, very strong against almost anything a Zerg can throw at you. And I was actually discussing this with somebody earlier on Skype. The fact that you just kind of want to be able to avoid Zergs going for very, very quick infested timing with fungal growths, because that can wreck your day from time to time if you don't have too many stalkers around. But the nice thing about going for Blink Stalkers is the fact that you will always have that quick kind of tech there in order to be able to get those High Templars out, to be able to deal with any kind of earlier infested timings that do come along. Right now, the Monchi, ooh, he may end up getting aggressive with this. For another 3 gateways going down for a total of 4 gates, plus 2 Blink timing potentially here for Monchi. And, oh, adding on more gateways. It looks like we're going to have a 7-gate Blink plus 2 weapons timing. And Roof is going to have a pretty nice economy in order to be able to deal with this. Right now, up to 60 drones. That's pretty darn nice on these 3 base in order to be able to deal with this. Getting an evolution chamber out. He needs to get a whiff of this. He needs to know what's going on. Let's see what Mr. Roof knows right now. He doesn't know anything about these extra gateways. He does know about the Twilight Council, though, so that is a read in itself. He's doing a really good job of spreading his creep in the front of these bases, which is fantastic to see. Oh, he's getting Burrow as well as Clear Reconstitution. Now, okay, one huge thing to note here is, if that Burrow finishes, this Blink plus 2 timing is actually just going to cease right there. It's going to fade away. He doesn't have a robo to be able to back this up. He's not going to have an observer. No detection against a huge or a large amount of burrowed roaches is very, very difficult to deal with. Right now, Roof is producing only units. He knows that something is up. He did see these Blink Stalkers slowly move onto this creep there. Also, a Zergling scouting it. So I don't think that Monchi has enough to be able to get this aggressive right now. There is a massive force here for Roof. He does have Blink finish, so he will be able to use that to retreat. But right now, Roof has got a great surround here with these roaches. And nice Blink out for now. Will be able to save a lot of these Stalkers. Will Roof continue this pressure? No, he's just going to fall back for now. Monchi, off the back of this, he does have a transitional position, unless he loses a huge amount of his army in this situation. He can go for a 30. He has that plus 2 down. A great segue to go into a later game. Oh, dear me. This is going to be brutal. Oh, he pulls back. Oh, look at this, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, springs up, going to be able to take out a lot of these Stalkers very quickly. That was not something that Monchi wanted to happen at all. Roof is going to be able to pile on this pressure. These Stalkers do not do well against this amount of roaches. Infestation Pit on the way as well. Roof knows what he needs to be able to deal with this Blink Stalker play. And Monchi, will he be able to? I don't think. The problem is, I said before, he has plus 2, a great segue into the later stages of the game. But that was if he could keep his army alive. GG, ladies and gentlemen, as Roof takes serious gaming 2 games up against Escape Icy Box.